Okay, now we're actually going to work this example one. We want to convert the angle measurement 121.719 degrees into a measurement involving degrees and also minutes and seconds. Okay? So this is how you want to do it. All right, so I'm going to do it once, and this should be enough. Once you see this, you should be able to do problems like this in ALEKS. So what you want to do is separate the whole part of the number from the decimal part. So for example, we can write 121.719 degrees. We can write this as 121 degrees plus 0.719 degrees. Just separate the whole part of the degree with the decimal part. Now, the whole part stays the same. So the 121 degrees stays the same. So what we're going to do now is we're going to focus on the decimal part. So this part here. And we're going to convert that to minutes. So we're going to write 0.719 degrees, and we're going to convert it to minutes. Now, here, let me erase this arrow. Here, you're going to want to do something that's going to be very common, for example, when you take chemistry and physics. And it involves a little bit of how algebra or arithmetic works. I want to convert degrees to minutes. I have conversions here. I know that 1 degree equals 60 minutes. Now, another way to write that, let me do it here. If 1 degree equals 60 minutes, then implies, remember this symbol implies, this means that, or implies that, 1 degree over 60 minutes is equal to 1. Or vice versa, 60 minutes over 1 degree is equal to 1. Why? Because these two things are equal. So think in algebra, if you have something like x plus 1 over x plus 1, without worrying about domains or anything like that, you could simplify that to be equal to 1. Right? Or if you have numbers just in arithmetic, 7 over 7, that is equal to 1. Negative 1 over negative 1, that is equal to 1. So it's the same thing here. If 1 degree equals 60 minutes, then if we do the ratio of those, doesn't matter in which order, it doesn't matter what's the numerator and what's the denominator, then what we get is something that's equal to 1. So this is important because the way I think about unit conversions is I think of it like this. I know from arithmetic that I can, and from algebra, that I can multiply any number by 1. It doesn't matter how that 1 looks like, and I get the same thing back. That's one of the properties of the number 1, right? 1 times any number is the number itself. So I want to get rid of degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this 0.719 and then multiply it by either this part or this part. I want the degrees to cancel. Right? So remember, canceling happens when you have something on the top divided by something on the bottom. So I'm going to choose this one here. Right, so I'm going to multiply this by 60 minutes over 1 degree. I'm not changing what this is because, as we saw here, 60 minutes over 1 degree is equal to 1. So think of this here as just multiplying by 1. And that's how I like to think about conversions. Now that we've done this, right, well, the degrees in the bottom cancel with a degree in the top. Right, so I'm going to have this cancellation going on. So degrees is going to cancel with degrees. Oh, and for multiplication, so I said it, but if I'm not using parentheses for multiplication, I'm going to use this sort of kind of decimal looking point. So kind of like a degree symbol, but filled up inside. So a filled out circle. So degrees cancel. So the unit here is going to be minutes. And all we have to do is find what is 60 times 0.719. You don't have to do that in your head. You can just put it in a calculator. And this becomes 43.14 minutes. Now we're going to do the same process again. We're going to separate the decimal part and the whole part of the minutes. So we're going to focus on the decimal part, and we're going to convert that to seconds. So let me do this in a different color. We're going to have, let's use dark blue. Now 0.14 minutes, and we want to convert this into seconds. So basically, each time you convert, you want to get rid of the decimals, right? So you're going from 121.719 degrees to minutes, convert, so separate the whole part, the 121, and just convert the decimal part from degrees to minutes. Now you're going to get a number in minutes. Again, it might involve a decimal. If it does, take that decimal part and convert that into seconds. So that's the idea. Now we're going to do the same sort of analysis here, the same sort of conversion analysis. We know that 1 minute equals 60 seconds, right? We have that from the previous slide. So for us, that means that 1 minute over 60 seconds is equal to 1. And similarly, it doesn't matter in which way you do the ratio, 60 seconds over 1 minute is also equal to 1. So just as before, we're going to multiply this by 1 in this fancy way. Let me do something here just to make it more obvious. Right? So 0.719 is equal to that multiplication because we're just multiplying by 1. Similarly here, 0.14 minutes, and now I have to decide which one I'm going to multiply. I want the minutes to cancel, so I'm going to use the second one, where I have the minutes on the denominator. So this is the same as 0.14 minutes times 60 seconds over 1 minute. As before, the units cancel. Right, so what I'm left over here is going to have seconds as the unit. Then you just have to find what's the product of 60 times 0.14. And this is equal to 8.4 seconds. Now that we've done all this, we're basically done. So what's the final conversion? So we go down here. Right, so first, write the whole parts. So we have 121 degrees from this part here, 43 minutes from this part here, and 8.4 seconds from this last part. And this is the same as 121.719 degrees. That's how you do this. Right? Anytime you have decimals, starting from degrees, convert that decimal to minutes. If there's decimals again, convert that decimal from minutes to seconds, and then you're done.